So here again, we are evaluating without a calculator. So again, please try to do these without a calculator. And again, I will have questions on your test that will ask you for the procedure of it, not just the answer, to make sure that you do understand how to do it without a calculator. But we're going to use our properties to figure this out. So before, when we were without a calculator, it was just one logarithm, and you could just figure out the exponent and go from there. You didn't have to worry about having two logarithms. So now the key is you have to make sure first that they have the same base, because again, if you watch the first video, you'll know that we cannot use the properties if they don't have the same base. So that's the key. They have to have the same base. So since they do, and I'm adding the two, our property says that I can multiply those arguments. So I can make this log base 8 of 2 times 32, which is log base 8 of 64. And now remember what this is asking. This is saying, what exponent does 8 need to equal 64? And that answer is 2, because 8 squared is 64. So my answer here would be 2. For my second one, so now we're subtracting my two logs, so I'm going to divide my arguments. So this will be log base 5 of 75 divided by 3, which is 25. And again, what exponent does 5 need to equal 25? Well, that answer is also 2. Okay, and they just both happen to be 2. No, your answers aren't always going to be 2. Okay, but these both happen to be 2. Okay, so now for our next one. Okay, I would ask you to try these two on your own if we were in school. So again, why don't you try to do them on your own? And no, try not to use a calculator on this one. Let's get those long division skills out from way back when. Okay, and try to do both of those without a calculator. So pause the video and give that a shot. So this would be log base 4 of 112 divided by 7. And again, that wonderful long division comes out. So 7 into 112. 7 goes into 11 once. 7 goes into 42 6 times. Beautiful long division tells me that that's 16. So what exponent does 4 need to equal 16? Well, it needs a 2. So again, that answer is 2. Now for this next one, okay, we are adding our two logs, and they have the same base, so we're going to multiply our arguments. So log base 7 of 2/3 times 3/2. And when you multiply fractions, you multiply straight across. So this is log base 7 of 6/6, which is 1. Now remember what happens when we have 1 in the argument. That's saying, what exponent does 7 need to equal 1? Well, any number to an exponent that equals 1, we know that exponent has to be 0. So 7 to the 0 equals 1. Okay, and now the last two here have 3 expressions, okay? But it's still the same thing. So I'm going to multiply all 3 of these together. They all have a base of 12, so I can just take 3 times 6 times 8, and that's going to give me log base 12 of 144. And yes, I would expect you to be able to take 3 times 6 times 8 and get 144 without a calculator. But then what exponent does 12 need to equal 144? Well, that exponent is 2. And now for my last one here, I have addition and subtraction. So that means I'm going to have log, and again, this is base 10, of 500 times 4 divided by 2, because these two are going to get multiplied, and then this one is going to get divided, so that one will be in the denominator. So 500 times 4 is 2,000. Log base 10 of 2,000 divided by 2. So that's log base 10 of 1,000. And again, what exponent does 10 need to equal 1,000? Well, that would be 3. Okay. So these are just more of evaluating logs without using a calculator, but now you have to use the properties. So again, your homework, the book homework is on the properties, so the ones from the first video, the condensing and expanding. The worksheet that's on there is 10 problems that deal with this stuff, with the using of the properties, but not using a calculator to evaluate. And I will tell you, towards the end of this worksheet, I put a few on there that have different bases. So look out for those. Remember, if they have different bases, you cannot use the properties, but you are still able to evaluate them. So see if you can figure that out. I also put the answer key on the classroom for you, so you'll be able to see the worked out solutions. But just remember, if the bases are different, you cannot use the properties. If they are the same, like these ones here, then yes, you can use those properties. Okay? If you have any questions or need me for anything, or if you just want to email and say hi, I would love to hear how all of you are doing. Maybe I'll give you an email here soon of just giving you an update on how my 40 days of quarantine have been. But any messages or anything you'd like to say, I would gladly take them. Okay, so hang in there, stay safe, and I'll talk to you all soon.